In the early hours of a foggy morning, while driving along a remote highway, David Mitchell noticed something unusual. A group of frightened young deer huddled near the roadside. One of them appeared injured, and the rest seemed too afraid to move. Without hesitation, David pulled over, turned on his hazard lights, and approached them cautiously. A tangled mess of broken branches and debris from a recent storm had trapped the deer, leaving them unable to move freely. David spent hours gently freeing them, calming their panic with a soft voice and slow, reassuring movements. The injured fawn had a deep cut on its leg and was trembling from shock. Realizing they wouldn't survive alone, David made a bold decision. He brought them home. Over the following weeks, David's small countryside home transformed into a sanctuary. He built a secure, spacious enclosure, consulted a local vet, and nursed the injured fawn back to health. He named her Willow. The others, whom he called Birch and Fern, slowly regained their strength and confidence under his care. He fed them a special diet, tended to their wounds, and spoke to them each morning as if they were old friends. What began as an act of compassion quickly turned into something deeper. "There's a quiet understanding in their eyes," David said. "They don't speak, but they know. They know they were saved." As the weeks passed, it became clear the deer were ready to return to the wild. With a heavy heart, David took them to a nearby nature reserve and released them where the forest stretched endlessly toward the horizon. He watched as they took hesitant steps, then ran, free, proud, and healthy once again. But the story didn't end there. A few days later, David noticed movement near his garden. Willow stood silently at the edge of the trees, staring at him with her gentle eyes. Soon, Birch and Fern appeared as well. They didn't come too close, just enough to let him know they remembered. Now, they return often, especially in the early mornings. Sometimes, they just stand and watch him quietly from a distance. Other times, they nibble the apples he leaves out or lie peacefully in the grass nearby. To David, it's the greatest reward, not just their survival, but their trust. "I didn't rescue them for gratitude," he says, "but knowing they remember, that's a kind of magic." In a world often marked by indifference, one man's kindness created a lasting bond between man and nature. The deer, once frightened and helpless, now roam free, but never too far from the man who once gave them a second chance.